Oh yes, it's Marvel Contest of Champions news time for Wednesday the 16th of January 2019. We've got so many different news articles and news sources to talk about. Actually, funny enough, we got more sources than a direct hit on a Heinz factory Blackadder references. But in any case, let's jump into the news. The first thing I did awoke this morning was to hear that scheduled maintenance was peeing a lot of people off. This particular person here was pretty peeved off by it. Even though they claimed that they weren't given sufficient notice about the maintenance, we got server maintenance, which we were told about last week, which I mentioned in Marvel Contest of Champions news. But obviously they want a bit of compensation for the trouble of losing their particular Trials of the Alchemy boost. With all joking aside, and the difference of opinion on the matter, because there's always a difference of opinion. Some that say this is a key time for them to grind out the game. Others are like, hey, well, I can take it or leave it. I myself, this happens over the time that I sleep, so it's not too much of an issue. However, though, there's going to be players that like, hey, I need to grind out during this time, even though it's a case that they did say scheduled maintenance. And to some people, they're like, oh, it went over a little bit more than normal. I don't think Kabam are going to be giving out any compensation on the matter. For some people, they're going to be a little bit butthurt, and the other people are going to be like, I'll take it or leave it. I mean, it didn't really bother me. And currently, Kabam are yet to respond on the situation. Whether they will, whether they won't, I just don't think they will. Next up, a shout out to Pendleton and James for sending this through on Twitter. And it seems like Kabam did an oopsie. It seems that on some sort of release via email, they announced the thing as being a cosmic class. Oh dear, Kabam did an oopsie. If you watch PewDiePie, you'll get that reference. If not, you'll probably think I'm mental. I am, which, otherwise this channel would never work. But in any case, Kabam did an oopsie. They announced in some sort of press release via email that the thing would be a cosmic. I think giving us all that great joy that we could definitely see a cosmic version of the thing, and then the Fantastic Four as cosmic-based champions, but that is not the case. I really wonder where the disagreement was between the people thinking about, oh, we're going to release the thing as a science, and the argument between it being a cosmic. That's interesting because obviously they may have had an idea that this was going to be a cosmic, but changed their mind last minute. Either way, Kabam did an oopsie. Next up, the Fantastic Chronicles video has been put out by Kabam through the Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube page. I've done a reaction to this / kind of dissection of the things that are being said about in this video. Gabe goes into great detail talking about the story and how this kind of pans in to the current present in Marvel Contest of Champions, the past and the future, which is pretty cool, and how they came about making the thing. A link to this video is in the description, as well as my video from today if you haven't seen it already. Next up is the Red Hulk bug. As you can see here, 30%. Unblockable finale. Isn't it meant to be 25%? Yeah, so if you don't hit Red Hulk, he goes into a state of regeneration. He stacks that regen like a boss. Well, he is a boss. But the fact is, he then would regen out of the 25%, which would trigger that unblockable finale, and then he's going to be 30%. Oh my god, he could be full health and have unblockable finale. Not something that any player wants to go up against. But yes, this has been noted as a bug, and so Kabam have fixed this so that it interacts with it. So if it goes out of the confines of 25%, it will then, boom, shut off. So there won't be unblockable finale. If it goes below 25%, boom, it will ping up unblockable finale. So it will interact with the regeneration above and below. With Kabam confirming this fix has been put in place as of yesterday. Next up, and let's loosely talk about this particular forum post here. Now, even though it's talking about being a professional gamer, I'm thinking about the way that it's come across is more talking about Marvel Contest of Champions being an esport. It's something that we've touched on a long time ago. I definitely remember back in the day, I talked to a fellow YouTuber who's actually going to be coming back fairly soon. He's getting some stuff sorted. It's Rizzo the Legend. I love that guy. And it's great to know that he'll be coming back at a later date this year. But the fact is, we talked about the idea of Marvel Contest of Champions being an esport. And yeah, I can see that sort of working, but I can't at the same time. There's lots of pitfalls to it. There's positives. Yes, okay, you could do that, but you need to do it as like an active PvP type setting. Unless you do it on like more of a time attack based thing. Yeah, it can, but I don't think it ever will. But I'll leave it over for you to make that kind of assumption and come up with ideas of maybe like, it could be a fun idea to then go to this link in this forum post, and have your say, or maybe in the comment section. Could Marvel Contest of Champions become an esport in some sort of aspect? I know it's a big ask, but could it? Next up, and I was digging through the wilds of the forum, as I normally do for Marvel Contest of Champions news, and I came across this here. So, one champion that I really like that's recently been put into game is Omega Red. There's one person I definitely know that does a YouTube channel and at the same time does play him like a boss, and that is Contest of Noobs. Link to this particular video is in the description below, and to his channel as well. And he does actually float into some of my live streams some of the time, but I absolutely love the way that in this video he demolishes the bosses of this month's event with its absolutely stunning 565 Omega Red. It is well worth a watch, and kind of actually demonstrates the whole kind of idea of not having to kind of get too actually getting too close, not having to touch, and applying some devastation, having life steal, having all that massive damage output. And I really want to get this champion at 5-star, so fingers crossed that I could get it. Fingers crossed that I could get the correct awakening gem, or maybe get that awakening, sneaky little awakening, and loads of signature stones on. But in any case, go watch the video in the description for how Omega Red is absolutely tearing through this month's bosses. Next up, and let's talk about the unofficial Marvel Contest of Champions podcast. The new episode is out, and I absolutely love this particular podcast. I listen to this when I'm editing videos, I've got it on in the background, and it's just nice to just unwind, think a little bit about the game, understand a bit more about the game. I've just got to the point where they're talking about the Kabam logo and how it kind of works with consumers. It's really cool. Like I said, you should go across and listen to the podcast. It's on SoundCloud, but also go to the Discord server when it goes out live on Sundays. So I really recommend it if you want to have more understanding of the game, you want to talk about stuff about the game, current news and events, though, you know, I do say that I cover a lot of the news and events, but the fact is, I rate these guys a lot. Like I said, strongly recommend going to give them a listen. Next up, and let's talk about game feedback. Now, this came to me a little while ago, and it basically points out that we can go to a specific link which allows us to give feedback to the game's developer. That's situated in different types of categories, which is really important because it goes directly back to the game team, as opposed to putting something on the forum like a suggestion and request. It doesn't really feel that that's going anywhere because you just don't know whether or not that's being seen by the team exactly. However though, and this is definitely legit, this particular form, a link to which is in the description below, specifies a few things which you can give feedback to Kabam on. For example, if you click the top one about character costumes, you can type out a suggestion. There's even a section about giving feedback on crystal rewards, so you can have your say. Go to the link in the description if you indeed want to have your say. And now on to our final story. It looks like we're potentially getting Ghost back in the basic. Yay. Wait, let me just check because, you know, apparently TrueCourse isn't reliable nowadays, according to Kabam. He is reliable. It's confirmed. Ugh, damn Kabam firing shots. But in any case, what are my predictions for this? Well, the 5-star Doc Ock, I think that's going to go for something like 30 mil, which is a bit low, a bit kind of like more than normal. But I really can't gauge where people are grinding out this 5-star for. This 5-star section is going into very wishy-washy, especially, you know, 60 odd mil going for the thing, but then the 4-star retaining a very low cutoff. It's very, very strange times at the moment. But yeah, 30 mil for the 5-star, 4-star Doc Ock going for about 6 mil, and then Ghost. Ooh, ghosty ghost, ghost. I would probably say if you really want to feel safe, and that's the code word of today, feeling safe about your grind, then you'll probably go for about 4 mil. But if you're feeling that you definitely want to get it, but at the same time don't want to front up 4 mil, then it's a case that you're going to see this champion go for about 3.5 to 3.7 mil. That's what I'm thinking. 3.5 or 3.7 mil, maybe 3.7 mil is going to be your safe bet, but don't be surprised that this will go high. Too many people have asked about this champion for me to feel, okay, I can go. Prediction will be 2.9 mil. No, I'll probably eat my own hat if that was the case. But I think if we go for that 3.5 or 3.7, 4 mil to be safe, you know, that's where it's going to lie in. And if anybody's doing the 3-star, maybe about 800, 900k at most. So that has been your Marvel Contest Champions news for the 16th of January 2019. If you enjoyed the news today, hit that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions rated content. Make sure post notifications are on so you get to see the news when it pops up. Don't forget to join me for a live stream most days at 1900 hours GMT. I've been RichTheMan, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.